Salute, 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 salute. Peace and power, peace and power, peace and power to the people that struggle. What's good? What's going on? Peace and power to the people that struggle. Peace and power. Okay? Hold up, let me straighten up because I'm a little bit off today. Peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power. As you come on in, know that you're in a safe space. Know that you're in a space of learning and getting learned up. Know that you're in a space of educating and being educated. Know that you're in a space of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Know that you're in a space of conversation. Know that you're in a space of comments and concerns, of dialogue. You're in a space of building. This is your space, a space of love, a space of integrity. You understand? You are in the space where we are working towards a united path for true liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, please keep all contact information in the chat for the duration and throughout the class. Please keep all funding information. There's a war going on outside. Fund the war effort. Please keep all funding information in the chat throughout and for the duration of the class. Fund the war effort. Green screens, apps that cash pals that pay grams with money. Zakat, charity, red cups, and all that. You understand? Unions that are Western. Find them. We here. Wherever we at. Damn it. Send the J-Dubs with a package. Okay? Knock on the door. Damn it. Present yourself. I'll be there. Call me. I'll take Uber to you. Damn it. Fund the war effort. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management, please book an assessment. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until you're in the back of a paddy wagon somewhere. Too late. Don't wait until they calling you into HR giving you that pink slip. Too late. Don't wait until your kids say, Daddy, I hate you. Because you are banned from the school events. Too late. Book an assessment. If you or anybody you know is in need of a domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. Stop cutting up in front of the kids. Stop sending each other out the house with a pair of tents on. Get yourselves together. Keep your hands off each other if it's not in a loving manner. Domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. If you or anybody you know is in need, Chef Corby, much appreciation for funding the war effort. If you are in need of an intimate relationship abuse consultation and counseling, please book an assessment. Learn the warning signs, the behaviors that should alarm you. I don't know why she got that mop. What's she doing with that scrub brush? Why she got that pot boiling on the stove with nothing in it? Okay? You need to figure it out. The characters and characteristics that should heighten your awareness. People, events, conversations, places that are triggering that should keep your alertness levels high and on point. Remember, with this information of life that you save could be your own. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Peace and power. What's going on? How you? I'm here. My young one is under the weather, and I always get it from her, so I know soon I'm gonna be under, so I gotta get class started. I'm nursing her back to her balance, but she got the sniffles, you know. Not a new job, she around new people, so hey, it is what it is, but I gotta get to it. We got a few people to tag. We have a few people to tag. Yes, we do. Somebody tagged the Lord of Lyrics, God, King Sun. Tag King Sun, tell him to come to class. Yes, we need King Sun in class. Tell him to tag the Wu-Tang. Somebody tagged Wu-Tang. Ray, Quan, the chef. GFK, Ghostface Killer. Tag them, tell them to come to class. Yup. Tag the Nation of Gods and Earths. Tell them to come to class today. Yeah. And tag all the glizzy eaters that, from other states, right? That try to wear New York City hip hop like a vest and then discard it when they want to. Tag the glizzy eaters. Yeah. Tag them. Yeah, Chicken Balls, Rick Ross, Jeezy, Kid Cudi and all. Tag them. Tell them to come to class. I'm sick of it. I don't know if y'all are, but I am. I'm sick of these old ass Negroes that been in the entertainment industry and we have nothing to show for it. So tag Jeffrey Osborne, Anthony Anderson, Judge Mathis, Jazzy Faye, yeah. Who else was there? I seen, who else was that? What's that boy named the bald head one? Shantae Moore, ex-husband. What the hell is his name? Should jump right out of my Kenny Lattimore. Tag his punk ass. Yeah, and Johnny Gill. Sir, your grippers are questionable. Tag Johnny Gill. Tell him to come to class. Yeah. Tag the escapees. There's only 2 of y'all left. Tag them. We need a quick update. Who else? Who else do we need to tag? Huh? Tag the Bronx people too. Got an update on that. Yeah. Shorty and them that put the beats on that pig. Tag them. Tell them to come to class and tag the rest of your peoples, your classmates. We need to see who in class today. Yeah, we need to see who in class today. Let's get to it, man. I'm not playing. I'm just saying this is getting rough. It's getting rough. Keeping attendance, maintaining the class. Boy, I see what professors and them go through because, man, is my work effective? I don't know. We're going to find out. Tierra, the young and T Green, first in class, jerseys in effect. Charles is second in Sheen, LA. KMU, Canada. First responders in the building, the lifesavers from the great North Country. What up? 1, 2, 3's in the class and in effect. Yes, Ken Williams. What up? Merklow 28. What up? A Wood, Detroit. Detroit, what's going on with y'all fly shoes and shit out there? What up? A Wood, might say anything you up in here? Yeah, Jeff Sparks. What's good? Peace. What up? Yeah, Tata, what up? Look at them apples, green and red. Yeah. Lovely lady, what's going on, Chef Corby? Much appreciation. How can be peace? Yes, let's go. Oh, yes. We know Philly in here. Philly always in the building. And FNT, what up? Sultan Thomas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, cousin. This class you're going to definitely enjoy. Yes, input is definitely appreciated. Bernie, what up, Bernie? We see you, GB. What up? Eric Carlos, 55 for the Riverwalk. 55 for San Antonio. Let's go, Felipe. Pate Philippe. What's going on? We see you. Yes, Elusive Views. City, CITY, 55. Yeah, G-Rock. South Central and Watts, what's going on? Man, we needed you, the other class. 55, G-Rock, skipping class, 55. Marshy. Ooh. Hey, hold on, let me straighten up now. Hold on. Marshy's in the building. What's going on? Yeah, I'm popping the pins. What's up? Mr. Mac, 1, 2, 3. What up, AJ Wise? 55. 55, Wise. Peace, what's going on? Yeah. George Johnson, what up? Philip Boone, what up? Hey, Ghoster, what up? The Gruffler, the Global Hustler, Cuckoo, the Bag of Bones, Zurich, Switzerland, Chef Extraordinaire, Underground MCs in the building, all the way from across the water. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, GP, much appreciation. Yeah, come on, let's keep it moving. Uh-oh. Tally, what up? We see you, Rome. Yeah, you on the building. Who that, Fred? Freddie? What up, Freddie? We see you. What's going on? After dawn, you up in class. What up? Who? Toronto. Cal Snipes. Toronto in the building. Canada's in here deep, y'all. Let's go. Behind it, Prince. What up? Hot car. God damn it. We see you. What up? Moo's in the building. Nah, Moo, don't start your shit. Moo, don't start it. Don't start it. Damn it. Benjamin. 55, Benjamin. 55. Yeah. God damn it. Let's get to it. Now, I know this is going to be a little lengthy class. We're going to try to cut it down and keep it the way we can keep it. It's 4 o'clock already. Damn, I'm slipping. I'm telling you, man, shit getting rough. It's getting rough. I'm telling you. Trying to maintain. We trying to maintain. Yeah, we are, damn it. Let's get to it. We're going to start off first and foremost. Because, again, I do appreciate when people DM me and send me things. Not just too much, though, man, damn it. Because I can't read 1,000 DMs with 1,000 different things. All right? Some of y'all be putting 1,000 in one DM, and all of the shit is extensive, higher, intelligent shit. Calm down. My brain, man, could compute and be putin', but too much putin', and come on now. D. Haven Irby, much appreciation. General, the Admiral, goddamn Command Sergeant Major Marcy. What up? All right, Thomas S. 55. All right, y'all send me all these things. Listen, I need time to read them and investigate, because a lot of it be cat. Give me a minute, damn it. All right? Sheesh. See, Bliz, snipers up in the building. So let's get to it now. And I know I had to address this, all right? Because if I didn't address it, the gods would be angry. The heavens would split. Damn it, we gotta get to it. Now, on the bigger picture, if y'all don't know what that is, that's the podcast by the big man, you know, the big security man, bigger. That was on the other podcasts and all that. Okay? He got his own joint out. And I don't know how recent it is. I believe it's recent. He had the God King's son on there. And he asked him, what did he feel about members of the Wu-Tang who, again, have knowledge of self, okay, and you know, those who subscribe to the doctrine of the almighty nation of gods and earths, the 5% nation. Asked him, what did he think about them wearing the Jesus pieces? Asked him, what did he feel about them wearing the Jesus pieces? You know, the gold ropes, the big Jesus piece emblem. And it has been a debate for decades. Back and forth. So we're going to make an attempt to put some clarity to it and why it's such a hot topic and a hot button issue for many, especially if you follow the lessons, the degrees to the T, and really are not trying to have a tolerance for hip hop culture and the way we haven't benefited from it at all. Okay? Not on a large scale. So, of course, you know, King's son, and if you don't know him, definitely research his catalog, research his advocacy, research his activism. You understand? And you will get a firm bit of information on who he is. Okay? Yeah, we're gonna get to that, D Haven. Definitely we're gonna get to Jay. Yeah, wearing the flag, the universal flag. So, you know, King's son definitely wasn't pleased about it in his response, but his response was very politically correct for him in the space of not wanting to ruffle any feathers. His knowledge of the degrees definitely can never be questioned, and his brief stint in the entertainment industry on a hip hop level shouldn't be questioned. Of course, he was there, you know, after the Renaissance and for a couple of years later. So he's definitely well versed in both. But you know he wasn't pleased with it and treaded very light as far as stating the contradiction in it. Okay, now I want y'all to understand where I am going to give my knowledge on it, my understanding of it, and come, as we always do, from the notes and from my experience. All right? Now, again, when we're speaking of the nation of gods and earth, you are well aware of my history. This isn't something that somebody came and you need knowledge yourself. No, not at all. Okay, I'm telling you that my father, my physical, okay, the individual, the God being, the individual who seed I came from, was one of the first born nation, not the first non-born, but the first nation. Okay? My father. Justice. Okay? So I had degrees, the lessons in me coming through, being born, coming into existence. This is from my dad, all right, who walked with Father Law, right, in Harlem, right, in Bushwick, in Williamsburg, right, and for a great, this is what I know personally as far as the lesson, right, and you know when you keep your lessons in the old beat up manila envelope, you know how old it is and how that is a daily expression, a daily manifestation. Yeah, you know, all the old guards keep in the manila envelope. Yeah. Yeah, just like your legal work when you getting ready to go to trial and you got your specs on. Yeah, yeah, the old manila, the old legal envelopes. So I'm not talking out of my ass here. You know, However, I understand the broadness and the range of my class, of the audience. So I use enough to give you an understanding of who I be and where we going with it. Okay? Now, I don't have to be politically correct. I'm not in the industry at all. Okay? And I know them personally. I've been around the Wu-Tang many years. Okay? You God. Yeah. Universal God. Yeah, baby, you. Yeah. Took care of them in the mountains. And when we came home, definitely was still running around each other. And then when I took my trip up top, he definitely took care of me as well. And then when I came home, again, running around and being... So this is not anything where you getting hearsay or secondhand information. I'm telling you exactly where we at with it. Okay? Walaikum assalam. Renegade Revolver. Much appreciation for coming through. I need some more merch too, by the way. Yeah. Give me some fresh merch. Okay? Now, the question of them wearing Jesus pieces, okay, depends upon how you see the individual named Jesus, who they call Jesus, Jesus Christ, and the image, like I told y'all last week, of the individual and what the individual has in their head pertaining to Jesus, pertaining to Christ. Okay, if they have a divine evil, if they have an old faith, if they have a grafted individual in their head, when they think of Jesus, then the image in this piece, in this jury, is not right and exact. It's not. Right? Just like I told you about women who claim that they want a God-fearing man. But their image of God, their image of Christ is an old-faced, blue-eyed, recessive individual, then that means that woman will never truly love you. She's trying to impose on you her understanding and who she, in her core, believes will give her salvation. If it's a white, blue-eyed, stringy hair, recessive demon, then sir, you out of luck. Okay? You out of luck. There's no love of you, no matter what you do, no matter what you provide for her in this world, no matter what you do for her in that bedroom. That her core, she seeks that image, that Charleston Heston, that image that was beat upon our people and passed down throughout the generations. And consistently, right, being reinserted into her psyche. So now if this individual who's come in our space via hip-hop is wearing the Jesus piece, and in that Jesus piece, he is acknowledging the old faith, then of course, nobody who has an attribute that is of the 5% nation, no. Then it is a contradiction. Okay? However, if we don't know that individual, if we don't know that God, if we haven't built with that individual, and do the knowledge to their understanding that this Jesus was not a Christian, that this Jesus was a prophet of Islam, and their acknowledgement with that jury is them stating that they are in alignment with this prophet of Islam, then what's the beef? Okay? Now, the contradiction comes in the form of this person or these people are part of an industry that is ran by the bankers, that is ran, okay, by the Bagelmeisters, and them with an attribute from the nation of gods and earth and wearing a Jesus piece. However, the benefits are going to the bankers, the benefits are going to the Bagelmeisters. Then nah, that's not right and exact. Because now you're attracting, you're giving audience a false representation. It is a distraction. It is technology in itself because you're gathering people to hear a word or a rhythm, right? In order to enrich those pockets of the people that you signed a contract with. Okay? So you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to go all the way over here if you're not understanding what I'm saying. There are layers and levels to it. Why? Because you're not dealing with 120. You're not dealing with just that. You're jumping into spaces and arenas that you have no control of, that we have no control of. You don't even have control over the music you put out. There are old fays around the table saying that this doesn't sound right. No, we don't like that song. You understand? So there's layers and levels in contradiction on how you represent and the image that come across on pictures, especially back then when we didn't have social media, right? Where you wasn't able to make it understand and understood about the image that you was putting out unless you build every day and in each and every way with as many people as you can. That wasn't even allowed because we didn't have that time on radio. We didn't have that time on TV. So if you weren't in your community, in your circumference, building on a regular basis with as many people as you can, then the image. Some people still to this day don't understand what a universal flag is. You get me? They don't know what they're looking at. And it is wrong for people to assume that, especially if it's your duty to teach civilization to the uncivilized. It's your duty. But you fail when you are not in control of how you are able to do that. We're not talking about coming out of your apartment and going into the lobby and building. We're not talking about going into the public school parks and building, or the barbershop and building, or the corners and building. You're talking about an industry that is already controlled. You understand? Thomas Shands, much appreciation for funding the war effort. Right? And we do know that. We do know that we have no control. We don't. They didn't. They don't. It's nice to see, but We didn't. And we know how weak and wicked the devil is. The divine evils are weak and wicked. Muslim lesson 1 to 14. Eighth degree tells you that, doesn't it? The eighth degree tells you that. And I don't want to speak fast. We're not just building with gods and earths in here. So again, those who know, others have patience. Don't quote the degree for those who aren't in that understanding. Eighth degree, the builder destroy degree. Why does the devil keep our people apart from their what? Social. From their what? From their social equality. Answer. Because he doesn't want us to know how filthy he is in his affairs. He is afraid that when we learn about him, we will run him from amongst us. Social means to advocate a society of men or a group of men for one common cause. Equality means to be equal in all things. The hip-hop industry, the record industry, the entertainment industry is not that space. So though you are in your clothing, though you are in your proper, you are not able to do that. So this is what they suffered from because they got pushed back, man, ever since the world famous Supreme Team. We knew from back then. Okay? 1984, 85. We knew from back then that the entertainment industry would never allow a nation to be birthed having knowledge of self and manifesting that throughout the world, utilizing that space. We knew that. We knew that. So if you in it, you're not going to be in it. What? You think that divine evils was going to allow them to flourish like that? Now, cipher. No, that doesn't happen. However, in the youth and in the renaissance of hip-hop, it was always brought forth. Why? Why? Because that's who ran the streets. That's what type of time we were on. Do you understand that? Do you understand that in the space of time where hip-hop was created, that over 90%, over 95% of those children, of those teenagers had knowledge of self? That's not an accident that hip-hop came out of the Bronx, out of Pelon. You think that's an accident that hip-hop came out of Medina? Out of the desert? No, that's not an accident. That was a manifestation of the vibrations that we saw on a regular basis that came out. You couldn't come out your house. I've mentioned this before. You couldn't be sitting in a nature development and not be influenced by the gods and earths. It was not happening. Our parents were. So that is only a natural growth. That was the growth of hip-hop. Y'all claim Africa Bambaataa was one of the godfathers, right? Right? Zulu Nation, right? What do you think his knowledge of self came from? Where do you think he was making an attempt to stray away from? Where do you think their lessons come from? That is a natural progression. Because when the father was assassinated, that left a space. It's like when Malcolm X was assassinated, it gave birth to the Panthers. It gave birth to the Black Liberation Army. When the father was assassinated, it gave birth to hip hop. So don't get it twisted and act like that wasn't there. They were there from the inception. Okay? But since Jesus has been the catalyst for this discussion, let's see what the Bible says about jury. The Bible says very little about makeup and jury, but we know they did exist in ancient times. At least two women of deep faith wore adornments. In Genesis 24, Abraham's son Isaac gave Rebekah a gold nose ring, two gold bracelets, and other valuable gold and silver jewelry, which she wore for him. Likewise, the Bible shares how Esther, who went on to become queen and risk her life to save the Jewish people from destruction, had to go through 12 months of beauty treatments, including cosmetics, to prepare to meet with the king. Esther 2, verse 12. Come on now, stay with me. Stay with me. Other portions of the Bible refer to jewelry favorably, noting that God cared for his people like a loving husband would care for his wife, adorning her with rings, bracelets, necklace, and even a beautiful crown like a queen. Ezekiel 16, verses 9 through 13. But other places in the Bible refer to the wearing of jewelry or makeup negatively. For instance, in 2 Kings 9, verses 30 to 33, the Bible shares how the wicked Queen Jezebel put on eye makeup and arranged her hair before her execution. Contradiction in the Bible, so I just want y'all to know that. You know. Contradiction in the Bible, just like contradiction in what is the entertainment industry. Right? Parables, storytelling. Okay? What appears to be something that it really isn't. Actors and actresses. Contradiction in the Bible allows individuals to have contradiction of self. Okay? Let's continue. In Jeremiah, the prophet laments the destruction of Jerusalem for its great sins, comparing God's people to a woman attempting to make herself beautiful. What are you doing, you devastated one? Why dress yourself in scarlet and put on jewels of gold? Why highlight your eyes with makeup? You adorn yourself in vain. Your lovers despise you. They want to kill you. Jeremiah 4, verse 30. All right? Similarly, in Ezekiel 23, Jerusalem is compared to a prostitute who courted her men by bathing, putting on eye makeup and jewelry, and then sitting on a couch before them. Sort of like people taking selfies in selfie vids. On the couch. Hiney in the air. Look at me, look at me. Go to my OnlyFans. Yeah. Dots. Stunties. Yeah. Do-rights. Yeah, little nasty ass trollops. And then sitting on the couch before them. Okay? Let's keep it moving. Mentions of jewelry or makeup also appear in the New Testament. For instance, in 1 Timothy 2, verse 9 and 10, the Apostle Paul urges Christian women to emphasize their good deeds instead of their beauty, dressing modestly and not wearing elaborate hairstyles or gold or pearls. And in 1 Peter 3, women are urged that their beauty not come from outward adornment like gold jewelry. So that's what the Christians say. And we do know and understand that the entertainment industry at its core, at its foundation, is Christian and Jewish. It is not Islamic. So by the very first time you sign a contract or you have an inclination as a Muslim or Muslim son or 5%er to go up into that industry, that you are compromising your integrity. So it doesn't matter if you got on a Jesus piece or not. You already know that you're going into a space that isn't right and exact. It isn't science and math. You already know that. So what the hell? If I'm going to go in it, if I made the decision that this is what I'm going to do, that I'm going to sign with these grafted individuals who never honor their contracts, it's a free-for-all. I'm just saying. You're in a space that is non-Islamic, doing what you do. Okay? Doing what you do. Now, can't read that, D Haven. I can't see it. It's coming fast. We're gonna build later. I got you. We're gonna build later. I can't see that fast. I'm trying to do what I do here. Alright? Got you. You know we gonna build. Chill. Let me get in their ass real quick. Come on now. Heating up. Now, when people think of the Jesus piece, you gotta know where that come from. If you're not old enough to remember, if you wasn't around when the guards used to be building on the street corners, when the guards used to build in the lobbies, when the guards used to build in the parks, when the guards was building after every jam. Oh yeah, it was a cipher after every jam. In Pelon, in Medina, in the desert, in Mecca. Every jam, street jam. You know, cutting up Frisco disco and all that. Cutting up, let's dance to the drummers beat. Let's dance. Every jam. After every jam, the gods had a cipher. Oh, y'all don't know that? Nobody hipped y'all to that? Huh? Y'all gotta come to this class to really get an understanding of hip-hop and what it was like in the street? Yeah, I know. Because ain't nobody else was outside. After every jam, there was a cipher when the guards was building. And when you old enough and you've been outside, silver was what you got props for. So you had silver herringbones. Older folks who had jobs and a little bit of change, or the pimps that was hustling, and those people that was in the dark doing their hustling at night, and you might have seen them come through our spaces because the elders didn't mix with us. They were very grown. We had silver chains with silver house medallions. Yeah, silver. So understand that. You had on sterling silver, your ass was the man. If you had on a sterling silver with a house medallion with the little fake ruby in it, and you had 2 or 3, damn, the guard was strong. Do you understand? So that was it. However, 84, 85, drugs, crack, guns started coming through the neighborhoods. And all of a sudden, the dudes who you seen that was in the street, the older guards in the street, started wearing gold. We was like, whoa, huh? Was wearing gold. I'm gonna check on that, Mark, and then we come back tonight. Gold. And then you started seeing the gold house medallions. And then the medallions got bigger. Then the gold herringbones got bigger. And then you started seeing gold ropes. But when you seeing that, you're also noticing the guards ain't looking too strong no more. The ciphers are not as populated no more. Dudes is hustling. Dudes is smoking. Yeah, they smoking woos. They not smoking pipes initially. They putting this little cocaine in their weed and their cigarettes and start smelling different on 42nd Street. Started smelling different in the hallways and in the lobbies. So now you're seeing gold. You're seeing gold. And from those gold house medallions and them gold ropes and the elevation of hip hop and the culture, and when you get through all that up until the 90s, start seeing the Jesus pieces. So it's just a progression, moving away from the lessons, moving away from the degrees, moving away from what was really in the streets into what hip hop became right before commercial rap. Okay? Huh? Do you get it? See, but again, you got to come here for this. You can't go somewhere else because they don't know shit. They the new Associated Press. They got to read from the newspaper and they can't build and give you history. Not my fault they was born in the wrong era, or not my fault their ass wasn't outside. I'm just telling you where it's at with it. So now, you see the influence of what the nation of gods and earth was bringing to the culture got disturbed because the streets is what they said hip-hop was about. But when the gods and the earth started to come back again into the Renaissance, where you get the Rakims, where you get the Kane, okay? Huh? You hear me? When you get the poor righteous teachers, when you get the king's sons, you get that true essence of the nation, and you had a conscious level coming through, right? With KRS, okay? With the native tongues. Remember? Black medallions, no gold. That was a very specific time. And after the big Source magazine, which I think was an agenda, right? To call these guards out and put them around the table and let the industry see who was really attempting to influence the babies and got all of them up out of here. Not near one of them that was at that table had any sustainable career in the music industry. Not one. They got their ass up out of there. Y'all think that was an accident? Okay, because why? Because you're in a Christian and Jewish ran machine. Now, what does the Muslim say? What does the Quran say about jewelry? All right? And men, because we already know in the lessons, there's nothing specific in the lessons. Can't go the 12 jewels of Islam: knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, and happiness. Has nothing to do with jewelry at all. Okay, so we want to see what the Muslim text has to say. Not saying, and I repeat, that the nation of gods and earths, that the 5%ers are Muslims. But there's a foundational piece can't ever be excused. It comes from Islam. Father Allah, formerly known as Clarence 13X. Okay? Craig Palmer, much appreciation for funding the war effort. Okay? Came out of the nation. The initial degrees, lessons, come out of the mosque. So we got to go to the foundation of what Muslims say about jewelry. Let's go. Can Muslim men wear jewelry? Within the teachings of Islam, the question, can Muslims wear jewelry, is often debated. To understand this issue, we need to look at different aspects of Islamic principles that includes Quranic verses, hadiths, scholarly opinions, and moderate viewpoints. Okay? Moderate viewpoints. The Quranic perspective. Islam, as revealed in the Quran, addresses the concept of adornment and attire. Relevant verses encourage modesty and moderation in one's appearance. The Quran doesn't directly forbid men from wearing jewelry. However, it emphasizes humility and discourages extravagance. Scholars say these verses help Muslims dress modestly and show their devotion. Why does it discourage extravagance? Okay, again, like I tell you, with capitalism, it can breed spaces where it dehumanizes individuals who are not able to be as extravagant. And because you see people who are not humble, who are very extravagant, it can cause the wolves to come out, the stick-up kids. Yeah. Maybe they had stick-up kids, way back when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was attempting to give knowledge of self to the people. Yeah, it was a lot going on. Maybe dudes was getting jacked. Because that's what happens when you're running around with your big jewelry, your Jesus pieces and all that. Somebody hit you upside the head with the biscuit. Yeah. Let's continue. In Surah Al-A'raf, the Quran advises, O children of Adam, take your adornment at every masjid, place of prostration. Okay? This verse shows that it's okay to decorate yourself while in places of worship. Interpretations may vary, but it suggests that moderation in adornment is essential. Let's get to the hadiths. Yes, move bandits. Let's get to the hadith. The words and deeds of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, greatly influence Islamic practices. Hadiths provide additional insights into the permissibility of men wearing jewelry. The Prophet sometimes wore rings, showing that men can wear certain types of jewelry. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wore a silver ring with an Abyssinian stone. The information comes from a notable hadith, book 29, number 4205. This indicates that men can wear rings provided they adhere to certain guidelines. Muslims can use the Sunnah as a practical guide. It offers examples to follow in daily life. Islamic scholars are important in interpreting religious texts and guiding the Muslim community. Scholars have different opinions on whether are Muslim men allowed to wear jewelry. Some people freely read the Quran and Hadiths, while others are more careful and moderate. It's essential to acknowledge the diversity of opinions within the Islamic scholarly tradition. People have different opinions. It's good to ask experts who share your beliefs and follow Islamic rules. Now, the nation of gods and earth are not Muslims. They're not. We know where it come from. We know the roots. We know the branch. And we're going to stay in this space because though they are not, many pick up the Quran for what? Huh? For what? To make sure that they're using it as a guide. All right? All right? Let's go. When picking and wearing jewelry, keep in mind the importance of being moderate and humble. In Islam, it's important to balance personal expression with following religious principles. Islam prohibits men as well as women from following other religious traditions and cultures. Okay? So now, again, if you are moving in what they considered hip-hop and hip-hop culture, are the gods and earths coming to influence hip-hop culture? Or are the gods and earths being influenced by hip-hop culture, thus straying away from the degrees? Just a question. Okay, just a question. Okay? Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, he does not belong to us who imitates other people. Who imitates other people. Okay? This is also mentioned in Sunnah Abu Dawood, where the prophet says, he who imitates any people is one of them. You can't wear a crucifix or a Star of David or something that symbolizes other religious beliefs. Now, this is where they start to shift. Well, we're not a religion. The nation of gods and earth is not a religion. Islam is our way of life. So in that way of life, they're moving into the space of hip hop. And here's your gray area. Here's your gray area. We're not a religion. You can't come to with us talking about the Quran. So y'all understanding, right? The politics in it. Okay? Let's continue, because damn, we're an hour in. Woo-wee! I hope y'all understanding and not feeling the ways about the length. I told you it's going to be lengthy because I want y'all to understand when y'all send me something, I'm not just going to talk off the hip. I'm going to give it thought, and there's going to be a process so you can understand the conversation. Okay? Why Muslim men shouldn't wear jewelry? Muslim men are not allowed to wear gold jewelry because of certain hadiths about this. Islamic teachers stress modesty, humility, and avoiding extravagance, but scholars interpret them differently. There are some probable reasons why Muslim men shouldn't wear gold jewelry. One of the primary sources for the prohibition of gold for Muslim men is found in Hadith collections in Sahih Bukhari, Abu Hurairah, and that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, advised against wearing silk or brocade. He also said not to drink from silver or golden vessels or ride in carriages made of these metals. So all the Rolls Royce, all the Phantoms, all of that gaudy European garbage that they've been rocking, huh? I do remember RZA in the Porsche. Yeah. I do, yeah. Yeah. I do remember Ray and Ghost in the Versace's. Because this is where the question originated. So they all the way out of alignment with Islam. They got on the Versace's. And those Versace's got symbols with Jesus pieces. Listen, this is where we at with it. All right? Come on now. There are two types of adornments prohibited from men but allowed for women. These include gold ornaments and clothing made of pure silk. So all the Jim Jones with the silky purple blouse, out of alignment. Okay? Avoidance, why? Avoidance, why? Listen up now. For those who are talking about silks and jewelries and balling and wearing the finest European fashions with the European women, right? Let's avoidance of imitating women, because we know that once you go into the entertainment industry, that gripper gate is in full effect, and that those who put this industry together, those who put the industry together, have a lot of gripper gate. They imitate women quite often by putting their grippers in the air, by chasing men and wanting man parts around their, around their bodies. Imitating men. So again, let's get to it. Scholars have said the prohibition is to avoid copying women. Gold is linked to women's decoration. In Islam, men and women are encouraged to wear different clothes and have different appearances. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, cursed those men and women who imitate the opposite gender. But again, the gods and earths are not Muslims. Let me be clear. So they could, make sure that they don't, that ain't in them. They ain't got to say that. They don't have to prescribe to that. So if they want to interchange genders and stuff like that and wear women's clothes, bags and purses and polish nails and do all that womanly stuff, they may be excused. I don't know. Let's continue. Wealth and extravagance. Gold is often associated with wealth and luxury. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, encouraged simplicity and warned against extravagance. Wearing gold can show wealth, but it doesn't align with Islamic values of humility and modesty. All right. Cultural and regional differences. Different Islamic scholars and communities may have varying opinions on this matter. Some scholars may say it's okay for men to wear gold in moderation. Others may completely forbid it because of certain hadiths. So the general principles of adornment: Islamic adornment emphasizes modesty and humility, not extravagance, as stated in hadiths. When thinking about their clothing and accessories, Muslims should remember these principles. So again, they're not Muslims, though they come from the Islamic root. They come from the Islamic root. So this is the wiggle room. I'm not Muslim, I'm God body. And nothing in the degrees say I'm out of alignment with wearing gold and silky fashions. Right? And it's not so, again, foreign for us to do that because we entertainers. But Wu-Tang is for the children. Much appreciation, Ken, for sending something to the war effort. Wu-Tang is for the children. However, in that jewelry, in those big, extravagant jewelry pieces, and Porsches and silky fashions. I ain't seen no law school. For every Wu affiliate and different Wu labels, Wu Germany, Wu Brazil, Wu Latin America, Wu this, Wu that, there wasn't no law schools. There wasn't any modesty in building that nation. Only quick verses or quick bars or yeah, that's what it was. So maybe this is what King Sung is referring to, where he is not going to say much because the older guards, the solid guards around him told him to chill, because it's always chill when there's a bag involved, where you don't want to ruffle the capitalists, the bankers, the bagel meisters. Not chill. The guards getting to the money. But we don't have no new law schools in 30 years. I'm just saying because I was there. I'm just saying because I'm here. All right? Y'all asked the question. Y'all sent the shit to me. I'm telling you what it is. Okay? So maybe that's the problem with flossing. Huh? Because it hasn't benefited us as a nation. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. When you ask me, I'm going to tell you. That's where we at with it. So that's what's disturbing about it. Not to mention all the glizzy eaters that followed that path. Yeah, Young Jeezy, the Jesus piece. The Chicken Balls, Rick Ross, the Jesus piece. Quavo and Kid Cudi, the Jesus piece. J. Cole, the Jesus piece. Jesus piece, Jesus piece, ASAP, Jesus. All these individuals who followed the Wu, yet didn't follow knowledge of self, yet wasn't for the children, but imitated them with the Jesus piece. These known glizzy eaters at the Diddy functions with the puff stuff, putting on the image of God body and going into the industry to what? To provide trick knowledge, because in their core, they have no knowledge of self and never intended to, but they can use the image that they seen before them. Excuse me, they can use Rakim's image and placate and cosplay. Understand? That is the danger. Because if you're not going to represent it 1,000%, why should I? If I can, this is what it is. Okay? Come on now. Don't ask me if you don't want me to tell you. Okay? So you got it? So y'all can move further with the conversation, should you want to. And if you have somebody with 120 around you, somebody who knowledge is 120, man, make them your enlightener. Study your degrees. You're going to need everything. I'm keep telling y'all that. Y'all need everything to go at this new world, this new war. You're going to need all that. You're going to need the degrees. You're going to need the Quran. You're going to need the 10-point Panther party principles. You're going to need all that. Now, it might not be a few of a higher intelligence on the BLA, and the BGF applications. But if they're around, you need to make sure you got them too. You understand? Yeah. This is a war. Okay, damn, I done went in. It's over an hour already. I got things to do, man. For real, for real. But I gotta keep going. I got to make sure I get through this class. So you got it? That's the conversation. Now, speaking of not getting anything from melanated men who are consistently thrown in your face, and it's a waste of time. Because we haven't benefit from the entertainment industry one iota. I don't care who was there. I keep telling y'all from goddamn it, what's the man names? From Sidney Poitier and Paul Robeson all the way up to now to these fairies, Michael Jordan, B. Jordan, and all these Latif. We don't get anything. Nothing for the claps and the praises. There he doing his thing. We don't get nothing from that. None. Philanthropy, minimal. Only going through specific channels of charitable organizations that don't reach you. Don't reach us at all. We don't get nothing from it. So when I see, and I seen this on my own accord, ain't nobody sent it to me. I see Johnny Gill having a birthday party or birthday barbecue or whatever the hell they was doing. And I see him singing. And I see his big ass pajama outfit that he got on. And I'm trying to figure out, why is this in my timeline? Why am I seeing Johnny Gill in pajamas singing Luther Vandross so hard? I'm saying, damn, man. Now I know for a fact Johnny Gill was one of the original ushers. One of the original young men who people played in his grippers. That boy was signed at 14, 15 years old. Somebody sampled them grippers. I don't know who. But I'm saying, damn, this man sure is having a good old time at this birthday. Then I see who else is there. I see a smoked out, crunching Anthony Anderson. I see Judge Mathis. I see Jeffrey Osborne. And I'm saying, who the fat dude? Oh, Jazzy Faye, who father is one of them old soul musicians. I'm like, wow, this sure looks like a brunch to me. This sure looks like a Freemason Gripper Gate brunch. And they just are shucking and jiving and jumping out and so happy. I'm trying to figure out. And all this negative energy, dudes escaping jail, dudes running back and forth to jail, dudes unaliving themselves and their kids and their baby mamas and all this turmoil. Why these niggas is so happy? I'm trying to figure this shit out. Like, we in the middle of an imminent war. What resources have they provided to us as a nation, as a community, for them to be shaking their ass and singing and dancing and kikiing and bucking? I'm like, yo, oh, this is why they got rid of the puffster, so these bitch ass dudes can run around and take the attention. Because I've seen Johnny Gill quite often. I seen him a few weeks ago, right? Dancing with a goddamn one-piece denim. What? I don't know what that shit was. Jumpsuit, a onesie. And I'm not talking about no farmer outfit, no Oshkosh jumper. No, this nigga had on a onesie. A denim onesie. And it wasn't like it was some mechanic outfit. Like, no, man. It was denim and he was dancing and carrying on name. And I'm saying, boy, they sure seem happy, like they got away with some shit, like they got over some shit. Yeah. remember Johnny Gill, if y'all don't remember, singing and shit with Stacey Lattisaw, sounding like a grown-ass man. And I'm like, damn. And it was the very small newsprint, small shit that we had back then. They didn't have no Wendy Williams. No, we had little articles, but I remember them always saying, yeah, teenager, Johnny Gill. So, yeah, he was a sensation. And we was always, even at our age, like, damn, how does that happen? Right? When we came up, we all wanted to be Michael Jackson, but how does that happen? We had no knowledge of the industry and how that moves and things of that nature. That's why it still impresses people to this day. So I'm like, Johnny Gill, what do I remember me as a young person watching Video Music Box on a regular basis, watching Hot Tracks, being so enamored by the industry at a young age? What did I remember about Johnny Gill before New Edition? I remember me being confused and watching Eddie Murphy video with Rick James, and I'm saying, how the hell is Johnny Gill with Eddie Murphy and Rick James? And why he got on acid wash Taylor jeans? And they tight. That shit blew my mind as a kid. I'm like, why his pants so tight? His pants was tight. It reminded me of when we used to go to 42nd Street and them little Spanish Latina girls used to come down from Harlem and the Bronx, and they had them tight bubblegum jeans, and they behind would look so ample and firm. It's like, damn, look at mommy. And mommy and them would not speak to Brooklyn dudes like that. And I'm saying, why Johnny Gill got on them acid wash tight Mira Mommy jeans on with Eddie Murphy and wild ass Rick James? Now I know as a grown person that was Grippergate, that they was handling that man. As we all know, we just did a class on Rick James last week. We know Rick James, notorious custy, with a mean sexual deviant habit. Boy, I wouldn't be surprised if he seen Johnny in that studio. Lock the doors. We got some recording to do. Yeah. Super freak. So why are we seeing this on our timelines? Trying to figure it out. Judge Mathis, we just seen his freakness come out when his wife told him, you out of here. And now she magically changed her mind. Ain't seen Jazzy Faye since back in the day. And why are we looking face to face at Jeffrey Osborne? Man, sit your ass down. What kind of philanthropic effort has they given? Because back when Jeffrey Osborne was out, we know the Panthers used to press them. Y'all gonna do something for the community. What did he do? What threw me the most, though, is because I build with my Cali dudes often. I do. I can't even front. California, the Bay Area, right? South Central, all that. That shit, man, I always read about it and always was intrigued with Cali, man. So I build with them as much as I can. And I'm looking at Anthony Anderson, looking like a 1987 crackhead. Head big, beard, afro, big in the chest, skinny in the arms, looking like he just smoked about a 20-pack. And I'm saying he got on this Compton shit. And I'm like, what did he put back? And does he have to check in? I'm trying to figure out, because he's from there. He can wear that? He ain't got to check in? Or is that only for outsiders? He don't have to pay dues? Is it because he's an actor? Or is he a comedian? Or is this only for rap dudes? Because he sure was blood. He was bleeding. Compton on, but I ain't see no paroles around him. No damos. I ain't see not one of them at that function. Just Johnny Gill dancing around in pajamas. I know Johnny grippers have been compromised. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Yeah, shit weird now, and I'm tired of black men doing that. I can't stand them, I'm telling you. I so wish this was 86, 87, 88. I so wish that, man. If I had the opportunity to reverse everything, spin the globe backwards to 86, 87, 88, and leave those same dudes in position, I'll bust every one of them upside the head with my biscuit. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because y'all don't know. Y'all favorite rappers had it tough. I wish they would put on a piece of jewelry and come in that club. I wish they would try to walk through the peas. Y'all don't know. Somebody lying to y'all. Them dudes wasn't wearing that shit in the projects. They wasn't wearing that shit in the street. They wasn't shopping with none of that. You seen none of that. I keep telling y'all, them rap dudes is pussy. I'm gonna let you know that right now. So all the adornments and everything that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told them to do was for a reason. Because dudes with biscuits will bust you upside your goddamn head. Y'all gonna feed the poor. Even 50 Cent. You come in here asking that. 50 ain't had no shines in the town. Real. Maybe one of the most real people in the entertainment industry, but he told you he was twisted. He was twisted. 50 wasn't no rich dude. Not at all. Not at all. Street dude, crime dude, off the block dude, punching dudes in the face dude. Yeah, got it in. But he definitely wasn't wearing no shines. Even when he got on, y'all never seen him do that. Y'all didn't see 50 do that shit until way later. Way later. He not that. He don't wear that now. He know. He's a street dude. You don't see 50 shining like that. Nah. Never that. At all. And I already told y'all, after certain eras, you started getting dudes who was a bit more authentic in the street into the game, but they had to play some type of activity. Okay? Had to. Okay? So yeah. I don't know why we seeing Johnny Gill. Something gonna happen. Something gonna be exposed. Alright? Okay. It's getting late, so I gotta speed this up. Okay, but yeah, I'm tired of them bitches. Dude. I'm tired of them soul singers, R&B shit and all that. Oh, these punk ass actors and actresses. Get the fuck out of here. They don't do nothing for us at all. Keep telling you, I'm gonna tell you again and again and again. Celebrities don't care about you. Celebrities care about your interest in them. Okay? And that's it. That's it. Oh, and before we get off of celebrities, man, let me straighten this shit out. Cause I seen it and I was shocked. And I'm trying to figure this shit out with people who's going in on this shit. Let me get through this real quick. Especially because my cousin is up in here. You know, and Sultan, I know you done heard the stories, okay? So I'm gonna put it to y'all blunt like this. How many were 180 in the building? Gene Gill wasn't gonna knock nobody out nowhere. So putting that in the titles of these dudes and their content and all, Gene Gill is pussy. He was not knocking out nobody. It's amazing to me why people are in this space. Man, this internet shit is so weird that people believe in all actuality that dudes is tough. And I can't wait for my young cousin, my newer cousins, my crazy off the chain Muslim cousins to come through with their story because he sent them to jail. He testified on the stand crying like a big ass baby. Now, dude who they claim ran up on him yesterday by the courts, he appeared to have some size and was stocky. Okay? My cousins is average size and smaller. And they rocked his big ass. Yeah, he told. He wasn't tough. He told. And then he sat on a stand and testified. And got them dudes 20 years. So he ain't knocking out nothing. And that, okay, I'm home 20 years. I did a dime. I seen them. Where I seen them? We seen them on the island on my appeal. That was 25 years ago. 25 years ago. He got 25 years now in the street. He ain't knocking nothing out. He ain't hitting nothing and don't want nothing to hit him. His wheels is bad. All that, that shit don't mean nothing. I keep telling y'all that shit. I'm telling you. Gene was going to do this. He wasn't going to do shit. If young man felt a way, if it was the right type of individual trying to get a piece of content, he would have washed him right in front of that court. Anybody big down there in Lower Manhattan talking that talk with 1,000 federal agents around there, court officers, police, all that. Big man is ass. Ass. He told on my younger cousin, so I know what the fuck he would do when the well-seasoned family members get on that ass. I know. But if you don't believe me, let's go to public record on a different case he had. Let's go. I want to see how tough he is. Check this out. A New York State parole officer was cleared Wednesday of charges that he rushed to a T-Neck parking lot while his car was being towed and drew his hammer on the tow truck operator. Justice delayed doesn't mean justice denied. A beaming Eugene Gill said outside a courtroom in Superior Court in Hackensack after a judge ended his bench trial by finding him not guilty of aggravated assault. Several of Gill's colleagues attended the hearing and applauded when Judge Liliana de Avila Celebi read the lengthy verdict in which she blasted the tow truck operator, Ricardo, and dismissed his allegations as completely incredible. Ricardo sat on the other side of the courtroom looking distinctly unhappy. This is just the system protecting one of their own, he said later. If you're not a cop, then you're a criminal. If you go against a cop, then trust me, you will be the criminal. Johnny Gill, who once worked as a bodyguard for rapper and producer Sean Puffy Combs, parked his Mercedes-Benz in the parking lot of a strip mall on Teaneck Road in September 29, 2009. September 18, 2009, and went across the street to get a haircut. According to his testimony at trial. He's a testifying, right? And in his own defense. Okay, let's go. But he loves the courtroom, as you can see. Ricardo, whose Haladon-based company has a contract with the owner of the lot to tow illegally parked cars, then arrived at the lot and began towing Gill's car. Gill returned to the lot and the two began to argue. Ricardo testified that Gill pulled out his service weapon and put it to Ricardo's temple during the argument. So he didn't knock out a tow truck driver. No. He didn't punch a tow truck driver. No. He backed out that biscuit. Now that's what Ricardo is saying. Gill denied that he took out his hammer. Several witnesses testified that Gill, who weighs about 300 pounds, fell on his back when the truck's tow bar slid and hit his heels, swiping him off the ground. The judge ruled that Gill's hammer must have come out of its holster when he took a tumble. So now he's saying he didn't pull out on the kid, right? Somehow this truck didn't tow his car. But a hammer might have fell. The judge is saying the hammer must have fell out when. So how did Johnny Gill get on the floor? He got on the floor because what? The tow truck's bar hit him in the heel. You 300 pounds and what, 6 and change or something? And the tow bar knocked you down? Really? So that means anybody else with some hand skills could take him. Knock him the fuck down, right? This is what we saying now. He said he didn't pull out. An indictment charged Gill with criminal possession of a firearm, an aggravated assault by pointing a firearm. The weapons possession charge was dismissed. So he ain't knock out the tow truck driver. In 2009, we in 2025. Who he knocking out now? Who he knocking out right now? So he was in court for that. He said he was sitting in court for the J-Lo Shine trial. He stays in court. Stays in court. He testified on them little Newark boys. Got them 20 years, 15 and 20 years respectively. After they went upside his head, because they pulled out their biscuit. Yeah, he testified, cried. I thought they were going to kill me. Cried. Had a victim impact statement to make sure they get the maximum sentence. So, sir, and whoever else is believing he's somebody, he's a bitch. He not knocking nothing out. It ain't been in his jacket. But y'all can keep believing this shit. That's why things are out of order now. But I don't know nothing. Can't wait till they give their story. I can't wait. Can't wait. And damn it, I swear, the universe opens and it moves in a decent alignment. Damn, I swear, if anybody beat a case. I want to see what the hell they gonna do if the Puffs to beat this shit. I would love to see that shit. I want to see they face when they ace. I guarantee you, y'all won't see none of them nowhere on social media. I guarantee you that shit. From the YouTubers on down, I guarantee you that shit. Stone cold suckers. One thing I hate is a bitch world. That's what we in right now. Sucker shit. Anyway, let's go. Let's keep it moving. Because I got to move. I got to run. What is this? Okay, yeah, these is quick. I'm getting up out of here. This is quick. As I always tell y'all, Kizzy spit in the cup. And militancy will grow because of the conditions, the severe conditions that is going to come about from these policies, right? So our youth are getting a little bit more radical, a little bit more unstable, mentally off. So of course, a lot of people gonna get caught up. This cop got caught up. I'm trying to figure out, because I've seen some punk ass cops in my day. Excuse me. But not like in this day. Yeah, nah, they just anybody be getting a badge. For real, for real. I seen some shit. I'm like, our cops used to bend us up. We ain't think about no filing lawsuit, police brutality. You ran, you got caught, you getting your ass whipped. That was just known. Walkie-talkies to the head. They little rusty 38s to the head, kicked, spit on. That came with it, man. That's what it was. You get caught, you getting thumped down. Back of the paddy wagon, back of the police car, back of the precinct, central booking. You gonna get it. That's just what it was. Okay. Now, man, please. These police, and I'm saying, anyway, let's go. Parkchester. A man wanted for attacking an off-duty NYPD officer in the Bronx over the weekend was taken into custody in Virginia on Tuesday morning. Tavion Hargrove, 23, was taken into custody in North Chesterfield, Virginia by members of the U.S. Marshals Regional Fugitive Task Force. Charges are pending and he will have to be extradited back to New York City. Investigators released new surveillance video on Monday to help track down two suspects. The incident unfolded early Saturday morning near St. Peter's Ave in the Parkchester section. This cop gets his ass whooped. Rather decently, too. Officers used the handcuffs belonging to Nafees, that's the cop, when they took Hargrove into custody. NYPD, He is now in the handcuffs of the officer he assaulted after he was taken into custody this morning in Virginia. One under, one to go. That means there's one more running around, right? Yeah. Yeah, one more dude. Look. Officers are working to extradite Hargrove back to New York, where he is expected to face attempt murder, assault, and robbery charges. I don't know why they put that attempt in there, but you know how they do. Cops on Sunday arrested Tavion's father, Jeffrey Hargrove, 55, for petty larceny and criminal possession of stolen property after he was allegedly caught using one of the beaten cops' credit cards. Why are we doing that in 2025? Why? 55 years old. Why the hell is your ass using credit cards that you done got from your boy? 2025, I'm telling you. A lot of people, I told y'all, this is going to be the summer of jail. Let's go. He was recently released without bail after being arraigned in the Bronx. The NYPD has identified the second suspect wanted for the court on video beatdown of an off-duty NYPD cop, robbed of his wallet and pistol, and is asking the public's help tracking him down. We ain't saying his name. Police named the new suspect, 23-year-old such and such, and released a photo of him. The identification came a day after U.S. Marshals working with the NYPD nabbed his accomplice. Yeah, Tavion. Officer Chowdhury Nafees was attacked at knife point at 4:15 a.m. while he was returning home from work. So dudes is walking around at 4 in the morning getting jumped on. You the cops, you the police. If you don't know how unsafe this city is, who does? They jumped you? Two 23-year-olds? Trying to think. Because I was a menace at 16, 17, 18. I was knocking out D's. Yeah, detectives, knocking them out. So at 23, yeah, I think I was a bit much for some one person. 23, but this is a cop. He ain't on P's and Q's. They whooped him out. In the video, they on him too. But I didn't know his head swole up, got bandage wrapped around his head like Popeye or some shit, like a cartoon. Whooped him out. Yeah. Whooped him out. Like I said, shit getting real in the streets. But the father's a dummy. The boy grandmother in Louisiana sending them money, Cash App, Yo, technology, man. Digital fingerprints, man. Come on. Shit real. Look. They already got him. Look. Baton Rouge. Only 2 of the 10 New Orleans jail escapees remain on the run. Only 2. After police captured 2 men Monday following a high-speed pursuit in Texas, and another man they found sitting on a bench in Louisiana thanks to an anonymous tip. They telling on y'all, fam. So what y'all think they'll do if they got a true liberation army running around? Your people gonna tell on you, so you better know how to make sure you are like Kizzy, spitting in the cup, way up under. Gotta be disciplined. That's what we building a nation of thinkers and discipline. Because they telling. Only 2 of them left. Police dashboard and body cam footage obtained by the press appears to show 2 escapees, Leo Tate, 31, and Jermaine Donald, 42, fleeing from police, reaching speeds of up to 80 miles per hour in a white SUV in Walker County, Texas. The vehicle zoomed past police cars, made a U-turn, and headed the wrong way on a divided state highway. The men eventually pulled over and surrendered to police, who descended upon the stopped vehicle with their rifles drawn. Get up or we're going to bust your ass. Get on up now there. Drag them out. Yeah. Back in Louisiana, an anonymous tip from a concerned citizen led to the capture of another fugitive. Lenton Van Buren Jr., 26, was found Monday evening sitting on a bench near a department store in Baton Rouge, approximately 78 miles away from the jail. He and 9 others escaped. These ain't got a chance, yo. This is how people giving it up. Yeah, this is how it's going down. Concerned citizens. It's a bunch of them. I don't want y'all to think it ain't. It's a lot of concerned citizens running around. They will tell on your ass. They sitting around waiting to tell. Can't touch nothing. You can't do nothing in front of nobody. You out of here. Yeah. That's where we at. Again, stop looking at Burkina Faso. Because they telling on the other people. They telling on the old phase. They not allowing a man to get clapped. We don't do that here. No, they going to give your ass up. No, they going to... Everybody in the industry that was rocking with Diddy when Bad Boy for Life voted down. You know, this is what it is, Sean John. Everybody that was rocking with him knew what he was doing, seen what he was doing. As soon as it went down, now they all testifying. No, wait a minute, Your Honor. I didn't want to do it, but he was paying me. And you know, once you getting that income, Your Honor, you got to do what he say do. You understand what lack of knowledge of self does to the person? Do you understand what not following a specific doctrine does to your core? Yeah. But Bliz don't know nothing. Nobody listen to Bliz. Make sure you come back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. My classroom assistants, much appreciation for always holding it down. To those who funded the war effort, much appreciation. To those who didn't, we know why you here, man. Listen, I see the hate. I see everything every day. I see the trolls. I see the people who are watching, who want me to fall. I see the family members who are peeping and trying to figure this shit out. I see it all. That's what technology allows you to do. That's what it does. I know the nature of man. Again, to those who support, much appreciation. To the new subscribers, welcome. This is how we give our class. Be informed. Be energized, be invigorated. Be energized, be invigorated. Love yourself. Let no one put boundaries on you. You understand? No one has power or authority over you. Don't relinquish your power to no one. You understand? Sanders, you already know Sanders B. Griffin. Much appreciation for the war effort. Again, truckers, be safe out there on them roads. It's looking real rocky. Stay away from them rest stop dots. All right? Stay away from them. It's 55, CC. You ain't been here all week. All right? 55, damn it. Put it down, C-Blade. CC got a 55. Okay? And again, we might come back later. I don't know. I got to run. I got to do what I got to do. It's getting a little warm. The weather a little something. I got to make sure baby girl is back. Make sure her fever broke. All right? Again, be encouraged. Don't worry about none of this. We have to figure it out on our own and do what's best for us. All right? And 55 gang, get y'all.